This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Coach, I guess we'll just cut right to it. Are you going to do the same thing with the starting rotation this week?
Yeah, I think you'll see more teams doing that this week that don't have injuries. Just to kind of look at the standings and where everybody sits each day and save somebody for the tournament. That's what you're going to see. But in our case, we're going to go exactly the same. We'll start Hagan on Thursday night and then just leave it open the next 2 days.
And also, as of this moment, do you expect Jared Wagner to play this weekend?
Yep.
Hutch?
With Wagner, I think I saw a clip where he said he was going to take batting practice with the team and maybe get some live at bats. Just how did that go yesterday?
It went good. He, he got a lot of it, a lot of swings, and then we let him hit a lot extra off the live pitchers that were getting their workout inside, and he got some at bats, so we got to see live hitting. If he hit the first pitch, and that was that. If he saw 7 and walked, that was the at bat, and taking a bat or two off, other guys would hit, and then he'd jump back in. He got extra, a lot extra.
And I'm guessing with leaving the second 2 games open, are Tiger and Holland probably your 2 guys you'll likely go with? Is that safe to say?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. So we'll just see where we're at, see what's going on in the league. And, obviously if you've won something or you can't win anything, you just leave a guy and let him pitch in the tournament.
And with Tiger, I think his limit this past weekend was 40 pitches. Do you uptick that this weekend?
Yeah, it'll be up probably another 15, 20 pitches maybe. But he's got to go out there and do it. Yeah.
Tom?
Hey, Dave, Vanderbilt's got a little uncertainty with its starting pitchers. How do you approach it from that standpoint? Maybe having to study a couple of more guys in anticipation of them starting?
Yeah, that's what we've done. Just look at a couple of those right-handers, and probably going to start the lefty that's still, I think he's available, but who's to say? I imagine they're going to, I would, unless they really already know what they're going to do, but I'm just assuming that they're going to tell us later on today who they're throwing Thursday and maybe leave it open after that, maybe 2 of them. But yeah, you just do the best you can. You watch video and look at numbers and match up and go play.
Gotcha. Hey, what about Peyton Stovall? Any update on him and what his stats might be?
Yeah, so I was going to make that announcement, but you came up with it. So he's done for the year. He's going to have surgery probably in the next 10 days. He's got a torn labrum. It's not huge, but it's definitely needs to be fixed, and try to get him ready for fall ball, late fall.
And with that, just the fact that Holt has been hitting, I guess it eases it a little bit that he's hitting, and then you maybe even have backup beyond him.
Yeah, the good thing is he's got some experience, the last few weeks to play, and he's done a really, really good job for us defensively and then offensively as well, obviously. And, so it's not like we've kind of known this was going to happen. In a way, you could kind of see it coming, and then some of the tests and different things. And so it's not like it was a shock to us. We've known for a while.
You guys were in a somewhat of a groove, I suppose, with the starting Holland on the first game, and then, using Hagan the way you did for several weeks. Now you've kind of flipped it, and he's in that first role. Have you thought about the long term and what you want to set up for your regional, and any chance to flip it back at some point? And I know that the timing is tight now.
Yeah, we still have time to do whatever we need to do, and that you never know who you're going to get or how that's going to go down. And a lot of times you get a team that's maybe there are a few games around over 500, but they got one pitcher that's unbelievable. So you gotta, it makes it tougher. You get some team that maybe just won a tournament. You feel good about throwing whoever, but I feel good about both our guys. To me, they're a little different style, the way they pitch. They're both really good pitchers. And now we feel like that with Tiger coming on. I mean, you're throwing in another quality guy. You could always start him the first day and go from there. But yeah, as far as flipping things, that's not an issue at this time of year.
Thanks.
Coach, I wonder what you think about the Vanderbilt bats. I know they've got one of the best averages in conference play, but the last 2 weeks they've been kind of cold, hitting just 186.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
know how that's going to go, and I mean they can hit. They're obviously they've been out on the road and it hadn't gone good, but they've been really good at home. I think they're 11-1 at home in SEC play. So, that's always been a big advantage for them playing on that turf, and it's just a different setting. It's tight. It's fast. We're going to have to play really well to win this series, really well.
Ellis, Josh, anything else?
Yeah, Coach. This weekend you obviously have a chance to secure a regular season SEC title in a division. Obviously your goals go beyond that, but I was just wondering, could you put into words just what that means and how seriously you take that opportunity?
Well, it's interesting because the way this season has gone as far as injuries and, you have high expectations when the season starts. You lose one of your best pitchers and you lose a reliever and still finding ways to win games. I haven't talked one time with our team about winning the West or winning the overall, even when it got close in the last 10 days. I haven't even brought it up. Don't even talk about it. So obviously it's hard to do. I'd love to do it. I'm not going to fall over if it doesn't happen. I feel great about where we're at. I'm so proud of our team, how they played all season long with all the adversity and ups and downs of the injuries. But one thing, and I say it all the time, they show up every day and play hard. And hey, if we win it, awesome. If we don't, awesome. We'll just move on and get ready for the postseason.
And also, I was just wondering, this is probably a dumb question, but with Tiger, I assume that you mentioned last week there's a possibility that you might use guys in relief. Is there any scenario in which you could use him out of the bullpen in that game one if it came down to it? And what would that scenario look like?
Well, that scenario would be that we have a chance to win the game. And that's probably about it. I mean, I don't know when the other games start and if we know who did what when. And so if we win this game, so I don't think we're going to go into the game playing that game, that mental game, because it usually backfires. Right now we'll probably stick with the same formula that we've gone to on game one to win games. That's bringing in Wood. If we have a chance, if we're losing, might not bring him in. Just not going to change things up too much. But if the game went into extra innings and we punched in a couple runs, I mean, there's a possibility that could happen.
Yeah, I've got a couple more as well. With Josenberger, how much do you think it'll help having the last weekend under his belt, second weekend back? Do you expect him to be maybe even a little bit better?
Yeah. I mean, he was good. He just didn't get the hits. I mean, you think about some of his at-bats, he struck out. Take away the first at-bat when he struck out on 3 or 4 pitches, he ended up walking twice that game and getting a hit. I mean, that was big time. And then, he got 2 walks the second game, but he also saw a lot of pitches in game 3 and game 2, a couple of full counts, fouling off pitches, and then he maybe struck out or whatever. But it definitely going to help him. I don't know how it's going to go as far as batting average and all that, but he's still he can still be a real problem at the top, even if he's getting hits.
And with Stovall, I know you'd mentioned the shoulder a few times throughout the season. Just how much has that maybe impacted the season that he had, before you shut him down a couple of weeks ago?
I think it impacted it a lot, big time on offense. As a matter of fact, we think he hurt it swinging. There was a couple of pitches when he swung and missed. It stood out when he grimaced big time. He remembers one of them, and that was a month and a half ago. So I just started out as some inflammation in there, and then got better, got back out there again, and that's when we think he hurt it, maybe somewhere in there. Like I said, 6 weeks ago. So I think he's been playing in pain. He's been honestly probably miserable, and I'm glad we know what it is, and he can get it fixed and we can move on. I think he'll have a great season next year.
Tom, close us out.
Dave, does the fact that you haven't brought it up with your team, what's in front of them, the potential to win the conference, is that maybe just reflective of where Arkansas is as a baseball program, that your goals maybe kind of go beyond that?
They do go beyond that. But obviously we want to win it. I mean, they're so hard to win. I mean, you can have a great team and be in fourth, fifth place at this time of the year. And, things have fallen into place for us, but the guys have made it happen. But our program is one that looks to the future. What I mean by that is 2 and 3 weeks down the road, we hope we're still playing. And, but we're going to do everything we can to win, obviously. And I'm sure Vanderbilt will do the same thing. I'm sure Florida's going to do the same thing. And, we'll just see how it clears come Sunday evening and then go from there, and continue to try to get better at the tournament and get ready for the next weekend.
BetOnline.ag is your #1 source for all your basketball info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest player reports for this year's pro basketball playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. Basketball, MLB, NHL hockey, right down to UFC and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games you can play right from your home. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. BLEAV. Bet Online, where the game starts.